Sam Taylor's Taming of the Shrew from 1929 is interesting for historical reasons. If you're not enjoying it, it's for historic reasons. This is the first talkie Shakespeare ever. This is the first non silent movie of a Shakespeare play ever. In fact, it's so early they did it first silently. Then they added the talking. It's from the transition from silent film to talkie films, right? So like by definition, it was the best Shakespeare talkie ever until the next one. It's only 65 minutes long. You will find actually that you've got to cut a lot of Taming of the Shrew to get to 65 minutes, but you'll also see a lot of the time they're not doing Shakespeare's language at all. They are there's it's primarily visual storytelling. We've written in a huge amount of slapstick byplay. There's a lot of sight gags. There's a lot of running around. It's actually over 4 minutes into the play before you get a recognizable line from Shakespeare at all. You get a bunch of words that could be from Shakespeare that are Shakespeare-esque or that use the names of the characters, but it doesn't. The Shakespeare part doesn't really start till you hear Baptista say, "Importune me no farther," his actual original entry line. And a lot of stuff happens before that. A lot of stuff happens after. This is not so different from what Zeffirelli would do later. Also, like what Zeffirelli would do 4 decades later, they have cast. Actually, they have cast the stars have cast themselves because they own the studio. We also have a pair of married movie stars at the time, gigantic movie stars, who are known to be married, who are here to take the kind of curse off the main courtship plot because they're stars and the audience knows they're married. They bring that in. Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford were known to be married. They had helped found United Artists. They helped found United Artists. They want to get out. They were so big, they want to get out from under the studio heads, and it was so early in history. They and a few of their buddies, like Charlie Chaplin, could do that. I want to say quickly, they are not famous to you, perhaps. At the end of the silent movie period, they are the biggest movie stars in the world. Okay, Fairbanks is almost the biggest movie star in the world. He is an action movie hero. If you see him wearing a kind of bandana, pirate bandana thing he's wearing as Patricio, well, he plays pirates. Plays back, but he is the first Zorro ever in the films. Like Zorro when film begins with Douglas Fairbanks. He is Robin Hood. He is your swashbuckling action adventure hero. And when you see him toting a whip, I'll get to the whip in a minute. The audience is used to this dude having a whip. They know him as a He-Man. They know him as an action hero. That's fine. Pickford is the biggest star in the movie universe in 1929. No question. Have you ever heard the phrase "America's sweetheart"? You have. It's a cliche. It wasn't a cliche when they said about Mary Pickford, because it was the first time anyone had said that. The phrase "America's sweetheart" was coined to describe Mary Pickford, biggest movie star in the world, first movie star to make $1 million a year. That's $1 million a year in 1920s money. And here she's playing against type. She's known for playing the good girls, the sweet things. She has long blonde hair. So playing Catherine is playing against type, but also how much of a hellcat can this cat be? If she's America's sweetheart, Mary Pickford. Again, they're using the star's known reputations as a way to qualify the subject matter and to govern or put guardrails around the audience's responses. You see, the first image you see is a kind of title card of the famous parrot characters, Punch and Judy. And then we move to a puppet show that is not like Punch and Judy without actually being them. Punch and Judy is a traditional English puppet show about wife beating, where Punch beats Judy with a stick. Sometimes she fights back. Usually the usual plot of the show is that he kills her, and then, when the devil comes to take his soul, he hits him with a stick too. The point here is not to make it more palatable. The point is to try to turn this story into slapstick puppet show comedy. It's all light, it's all in fun. The equality here is that Pickford's Catherine is also given a whip, that they both have whips. I want to talk about the whip. I got to talk about the whip. So, for probably more than half of the Taming of the Shrew's stage life, Petruchio had a whip. It's how you knew him. The guy on the poster would have a whip. That's how you knew it was Taming of the Shrew, and you knew that was Petruchio. It's not in the original script, and it's not in What We Do Now. By the time you go to the Zeffirelli movie that we're done with, by the 60s, we're done with the whip, but it lasts into the 50s. But from the 1700s, well into the middle of the 20th century, Petruchio has a whip. You thought the text was troubling. Here, Catherine's got a whip too, right? And we have stage business with the whip. This is much about stage business. We condense and change the plot in all kinds of ways. We leave out the things like the starvation, the sleep deprivation. That's easily left out. But we're going to turn this into a madcap. And was this a hit? It wasn't. Pickford and Fairbanks don't maintain this level of stardom in the talkie age. I mean, they can speak. They've got stage experience. But they're not the kind of stars in the new world that they were in the silent world. The other thing that's happening here that you won't see in a lot of movies that are using Shakespeare's script is beyond simply cutting lots and lots of stuff. And again, cutting this text down to 65 minutes would be a lot. It's 65 minutes where there's no Shakespeare at all for lots of it. So it's, I don't know how much, is it half an hour of Shakespeare's text in this movie? Maybe half an hour, right? And we're going to turn it into to mostly sight gags and visuals and a kind of fakey, generic, conventional vision of northern Italy in the 16th century. But Taylor, the director and adapter, has added new words. The first words we hear, the things that are coming out of Lucentio's mouth early on, aren't really from Shakespeare's text. It's kind of Shakespeare-ish stuff, which is a sign not to do that. If you go to the wedding scene, which is totally not in the play, let me say, both of the feature films we watched show the wedding inside, like that's where film wants to go, inside where the event happens. Let's see the wedding. Shakespeare doesn't show the wedding. Somebody describes the wedding off stage. Taylor writes a bunch of stuff for the officiant to have a priest to say that are not in Shakespeare, not from Shakespeare's era, and it sounds like schmucks with Underwoods typewriters typed it, to use a famous phrase from early Hollywood. If most people are afraid of adding new language, new dialogue to Shakespeare because it will stick out and sound bad, Sam Taylor is not afraid of that. But the downside is it sticks out and it sounds bad.